Arsenal has just revealed that they are eyeing an English forward described as unstoppable and valued at £22 million. Meanwhile, a Saudi club is pushing to make a tempting offer, tripling the £27 million salary of an Arsenal star, raising doubts about whether he will be able to refuse. To further complicate matters, the Key Match Incidents panel has released its final verdict on Leandro Trossard, and the decision will not be well received by Arsenal fans. Stay with me until the end of the video to check out the latest Arsenal news straight from the Emirates Stadium. But before that, if you're as passionate about Arsenal as we are, don't waste any time and subscribe to our channel right now to stay updated on everything happening with the greatest team in the Premier League. And without further ado, let's dive into today's top news. While Arsenal made significant moves in the summer transfer window, Edu and Mikel Arteta's work is far from complete. One notable last-minute acquisition was Raheem Sterling, brought in on loan from Chelsea on deadline day. Though this was a smart move, it wasn't part of the club's initial summer strategy. If Sterling excels during his time in North London, Arsenal could consider making the deal permanent. Regardless of how Sterling performs, Arsenal is expected to continue pursuing other transfer targets, possibly players who fit better into their long-term plans and offer more sustained value. According to Give Me Sport, Arsenal has been keeping an eye on 20-year-old winger Bynoe-Gittens since his move from Manchester City to Borussia Dortmund in 2020. The England under-21 international is beginning to make waves in the Bundesliga, following in the footsteps of former Dortmund stars Jadon Sancho and Jude Bellingham. Bynoe-Gittens has had an impressive start to the season, scoring 4 goals in 6 games, with 2 of those goals coming in just 11 minutes of Champions League action against Club Brugge. While Arsenal has shown interest, it seems unlikely that the young winger is considering a move to North London at the moment. Despite the appeal of playing under Mikel Arteta, Bynoe-Gittens reportedly prefers to remain at Dortmund, where young players are traditionally given plenty of opportunities to develop. His teammate Emre can even describe him as unstoppable, emphasizing his bright future with the German side. Ian Wright has been impressed with Bynoe-Gittens' bravery. Speaking back in 2022, when the youngster went by the surname Bynoe-Gittens, Ian Wright actually spoke about the winger on his podcast. Wright really enjoyed what Gittens said after leaving Man City, impressed by the bravery of the young Englishman. Wright said, "When you see this guy, his story, he was at Reading at 7, Man City at 14. He's another one of those players that has been at Man City and said, I'm gonna leave here. He's always played above his age group. He went to Dortmund in 2020. You know what I love? He mentioned Jadon Sancho was at City and he was doing bits, scoring in the 18s, scoring every game. And he said you've got to take stuff from other people to make the best version of yourself. Now you've got to score and assist to be the best. At 18, if you've got that mindset now, fingers crossed he steers clear of injuries and that, but he's on a good trajectory. He sounds like his mind's right. Of course, that mindset now appears to be serving Gittens well 2 years later, a player who may soon be knocking on the door for a senior England call-up. Arsenal and Tottenham enter the race for the £25 million Italian star. Both Arsenal and Tottenham Hotspur are on promising trajectories, with hopes of bringing silverware back to North London in the near future. Arsenal under Mikel Arteta have been in strong form, currently contending for the Premier League title and recently coming out on top in the last North London derby against Spurs. On the other hand, Tottenham is gradually gaining momentum under new manager Ange Postecoglou. The club is building a promising future, and fans are eager to see how the project will unfold over time. Key to the success of both clubs has been their smart recruitment strategies, which have brought in solid players for both immediate impact and long-term development. Recently, there has been an update regarding a talented youngster who was linked with both Arsenal and Tottenham during the summer transfer window, indicating the continued focus on building for the future at both clubs. The player at the center of interest is Lecce's 19-year-old fullback Patrick Dorg, who has caught the eye of several top clubs including Arsenal, Tottenham, and Chelsea. Spurs were reportedly in contact about a potential move for Dorgu, while Arsenal and Chelsea have also been monitoring the Danish youth international closely. According to Toto Juve, Lecce is currently working to extend Dorgu's contract, but has also set a price tag of €30 million, £25 million ahead of the January transfer window. Juventus has also expressed interest, and Chelsea is reportedly fascinated by the young talent. Dorg's current contract with Lecce runs until 2027, 7, giving Lecce a solid position in any transfer negotiations. It will be interesting to see how the competition among these top clubs unfolds as the January window approaches. Patrick Dorg is a 19-year-old footballer currently playing for Serie A side Lecce and representing Denmark at the international level. Standing at 6 feet 2 in, he was born in the Husum district of Copenhagen and started his football career at local club Husum Boldklub before moving to FC Nordsjælland. In 2022, he joined Lecce's academy, where he has quickly risen to become a regular starter in the first team. Dorg's impressive performances have drawn comparisons to Tottenham and Italy fullback Destiny Udogie, as noted by Goal.com. Additionally, football analyst Ben Mattinson recently highlighted the young talent on X, formerly Twitter, describing Dorg as one of the best young profiles out there for LBs. This blend of raw talent and early exposure to top-level football has made Dorg a player to watch, with top European clubs showing significant interest. Saudi club offered to triple £27 million Arsenal star's salary. Arsenal signed Leandro Trossard from Brighton and Hove Albion for £27 million, including add-ons, in January 2023. Interestingly, he wasn't Mikel Arteta's first choice. The Arsenal manager initially targeted Mykhailo Mudryk. However, when Chelsea hijacked that deal, the Gunners quickly shifted their attention to Trossard. In hindsight, it appears Arsenal made the better decision, as Trossard has outperformed Mudryk since joining the club. His versatility and consistent performances have been a valuable addition to Arteta's squad. After the summer 2023 transfer window closed, Saudi Arabian club Al Ittihad made a move for Trossard, but Arsenal swiftly rejected their offer, reaffirming their commitment to keeping the Belgian star. There was no chance Arsenal would let Leandro Trossard go after the Premier League window had closed, and according to reports from Team Talk, Trossard himself wasn't interested in a move either. Despite a lucrative offer from Saudi Arabian club Al Ittihad that would have tripled his salary to around £270,000 per week, the Belgian winger chose to stay at Arsenal. Trossard currently earns £90,000 a week at the North London club, but even the prospect of such a massive salary increase wasn't enough to convince him to move to the Middle East. His decision to remain with the Gunners shows his commitment to Arsenal and the Premier League, where he has been performing at a high level since joining. Arsenal have a new plan for Trossard. Arsenal made the right decision in rejecting Al Ittihad's offer for Leandro Trossard, as selling him didn't align with the club's long-term plans. Trossard, despite being in the spotlight recently after his controversial red card against Manchester City, remains a key player for Mikel Arteta. While some criticized Trossard's actions in that game, others argued that the referee's decision was overly harsh. Arteta is firmly backing his player, and according to reports from Het Nieuwsblad, is even planning to offer Trossard a new contract soon. The Belgian winger's current deal runs until the summer of 2026, showing that Arsenal values his contributions and sees him as an important part of the squad for the future. By holding on to Trossard, Arsenal maintains depth and quality, especially as they continue to compete at the top level of English and European football. Key match incidents. Panel reveal final Leandro Trossard verdict that Arsenal fans won't want to hear. A group of 5 experts, 3 former Premier League players or coaches, a Premier League official, and a PGMOL official gathered to review some significant moments from recent matches, and they took a close look at the red card issued to Trossard. Out of the 5, 4 of the panelists backed the decision made by referee Oliver to send Trossard off. They concluded that when Trossard kicked the ball high into the air, he was clearly holding up the game, which justified the dismissal. On the flip side, one member of the panel disagreed, arguing that the time gap between Oliver blowing his whistle and Trossard's kick was so short that it should be considered a valid reason to rethink the red card. Overall, it was deemed that the red card was a fair one, in a ruling which may annoy some Arsenal fans, but the reality is that Trossard should have done better. Although Arsenal has faced its fair share of referee inconsistencies in the past, Trossard doesn't have much ground to stand on this time around. With only a few seconds left before halftime, his decision to shove into Bernardo Silva was totally unnecessary, and honestly, that could have been worthy of a yellow card all on its own. Sure, there wasn't much time between the referee's whistle and Trossard kicking the ball away, but the truth is, he shouldn't have kicked it at all. If he had just taken a touch or made a clear pass instead, he might have had a better argument that he wasn't delaying the game. The way he played the ball left the referee with no choice but to show him a red card. Trossard really needed to think more carefully in that moment, especially since he's one of the more seasoned players on the team. Well folks, those were the main news for today. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated on everything happening with our beloved team, you know what to do. Subscribe to the channel now and hit the bell icon so you don't miss any updates. Thanks for joining us, and until the next video.